Hey, what's going on? So this is Manny. So today's class is gonna be on price action and volume, right? But what everybody talks about price action, volume is king. But what the hell is it? How does it work? How does it help you determine entries as well as how does it determine exits? Now, this is exactly what this class is gonna be on. Now, before you watch this class, you need to make sure you go back and review how to read a candlestick, because if you don't know how to read a candlestick, then it's not going to help you in this class. Because by understanding exactly what a candlestick is, where does it start, where does it end, what's the price high, what's the price low, who is in charge, and how does it volume determine the price action, and how does price action determine the direction. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and talk about price action and volume. Now, so if you notice here, right, we go ahead and talk about, okay, yesterday, as soon as the market opened, it kind of dropped, right? The price dropped. So if we want to look back and say, okay, where's the next support base off of this? So we could go ahead and draw a support right around this level here, just off of that low. Now, as we go ahead and start to watch this kind of play out, we can start to determine exactly when volume and price action and who's in control, right? So we got a big dip. It bounces up. Now, as this is bouncing up, we see that the volume, these green candlesticks here, are now determining that there's demand, right? So the more demand, usually the higher it is. The less demand, so the that usually determines the price is going to drop, and vice versa. Whenever there's a high supply, which is a high sellers, then the price is going to drop, right? So let's go ahead and continue on. Right. So as that fell now, if you notice now, let's go ahead and talk about these first four candlesticks, right? And this is on a 5 minute time frame. So if you say, okay, we had a big drop as we bounced up here, and volume started to come, and as the price action and the price got higher, we lost demand, right? So we had a decrease of buyers, and then the next candlestick we had an increase of sellers, which is supply, right? So now we can start to come into and have some type of plan of action. Say, okay, now this is already determined. Like right now, we have more supply than demand. We have more sellers than buyers, and that's why we are in a downtrend, right? So let's go ahead, continue on, and walk this through as the price and the volume are trying to determine the next direction. So it's going to go ahead and continue. And now, if you notice here, it actually comes right back down to that same support base. Now, what's interesting here is as soon as it bounced down, if you notice the volume was relatively not as high, but then it started to get some buying pressure. And that's where that candlestick start to establish that wick or the bottom shadow on the bottom, telling us that when it came down here, it started to get some buyers, and that determined a nice, decent demand zone, or when it receives buyers start to come into play at that area, right? So let's go ahead and continue on, and let's see if we could help and determine if this is going to continue dropping down to the next support base, or if we can continue to go up, right? Now, what's interesting here, if you notice here, as we are getting red candlesticks more and more and more, and the price is going down further and further and further, we're losing less and less sellers, right? Now that's very, very important, because we talk about, okay, the market moves in stages, the market moves in phases. As this is trying to find a same support base that it was at yesterday, are we going to continue to drop through? Is demand going to pick up, or is supply going to continue to increase? Are more and more sellers going to continue to come in to force the price down? So when sellers are in control, the price continues to fall. But if sellers start to die out, and you could tell we start to get some wicks and wicks and wicks and some bottom wicks, we start to decrease sellers and start to increase buyers, right? Now let's continue on, and let's see if this is going to break through or not, right? if it's going to break through that supply or not. Now, right now, you can see that we are getting a decrease of supply. We're starting to get some buying pressure here, right? But still not a lot of buyers just quite yet. But it's starting to start to give us an early indication this might be a good support area, right? So this might be a good support area. And if we come back here and revisit here again, um, and with a decrease of supply, then we might go ahead and want to take a long position, right? Otherwise, if we break through and we got an increase of supply, then we might go ahead and take a short position for this trade. So moving on. Now, what's important is notice here, bam, right there, right? So if you notice, the volume was relatively low as it tried to break through. Now, that's why it's very important to kind of wait for that confirmation, because obviously as it broke down again, volume was relatively low, letting us know that it wasn't that much supply there. There wasn't that many sellers there, right? So anybody follow my Wyckoff logic, right? In the very first law of Wyckoff logic, they talk about the law of supply and demand will determine the price direction. The law of supply and demand will determine price direction. Now, if you really break that down, that tells you that whoever's in control, right, supply or demand, sellers or buyers, will help determine what direction the price will go. So if you notice, as a decrease of supply, right, and an increase of demand, buyers, it had a nice bounce up. All right, so let's continue moving on and see if we can really dictate a good entry point here. All right, so it's still playing around. Now, if you notice here, once again, it came right back down and that volume was extremely low, right? So let's go ahead and watch and see if this if this is going to reverse right here, right? It dropped a big red candlestick. It could be very misleading. And this is where a lot of people, it could be a bear trap, right? Where it drops and it looks very deceiving, because a big red candlestick like this looks like it has a lot of, it's going to decrease, right? The price is going to continue to drop. And that's why you have to pay attention to volume, right? Because even though that this price action had a high of 410.92 and a low of 410.16 within this 5-minute time frame, the volume was relatively low until it started to establish that bottom wick, and that's where the volume came in a little bit higher, right? That's where more volume came in, telling us that there's starting to become a lot of demand, some more demand, some more buyers are coming into picture, especially at this nice demand zone area. Right. So now as this comes out, let's see. Once again, bam, right there. So if you notice on that red candlestick, as soon as we got a decrease of supply and an increase of demand here, that was our entry to go take a long position, right? Because we've been talking about it. As this came down here and found this same support area or demand zone, right, from yesterday's lower support area, it dropped, and as soon as it started to come in that area, buyers start to come in, right? And then buyers start to come in, and then it dropped again, and then buyers came in. And now as soon as it dropped again, and we got a very low supply, right? Once again, supply is sellers, and we got an increase of demand. That gave us our entry point. So as soon as this candlestick here, right, I talked about sidestep green candlestick, as soon as that dropped, that was a red candlestick. And as soon as it got past the opening level here and started to turn green, that would have been my entry position to go long. Why? Because I got a decrease of supply, increase of demand, right? We talk about the Wyckoff logic, and the first law in the Wyckoff logic is the law of supply and demand will determine price direction. What the law of supply and demand will determine the price direction, right? If a decrease of supply and an increase of demand will determine the price direction go up. So if this is my entry position here, now where can I exit? Right? Where can I exit? So if you notice here, This was a previous resistance point. So this is where supply came in before, right? Before it dropped all the way back down here to the support. So we could draw a resistance point right up here, knowing that at this level, even here from yesterday and pre-market, right? A previous support becomes a resistance. At this level, that's where support came in, right? Our supply came in and sellers came in. So it shot up, it almost tested that area, supply started to come in. Now, if we break through this level, what's the next level or my next price target? Well, the next level where supply came in, right? So I start to understand from level to level and where the supply comes in, right? The different supply zones, and understand that's where I can start taking profits. So now if we restart this, right, we can see that, okay, we're still increasing volume, we start to get some sellers here, but long as there's more demand than supply, I could continue to take this in a long position. But as soon as we decrease demand and start to increase sellers, right, or supply, that's when we could exit that position and be safe about it, right? So let's see. And so it has the same exact opposite effect from here, right? So let's see when we would exit this position. So as this continues, it pulls back, right? If you notice it pulled back, that volume was relatively low. Previous resistance now becomes a support here. So if you missed this entry here, you could have entered in right there. So let's see what else this takes us and where does it take us to, right? That level's coming up, right? It hit that area, kind of sold off a little bit, right? If you notice this green candlestick here, very, very low demand, right? It shot up again. The volume was relatively low, and then it started to get some selling pressure. So it hit our first price target, so we can start to scale out, take some profits, right? We don't have to completely close out our position, but we could take some profits there as it hit that price target, right? And now you can start to see that we are starting to get some type of sellers, right? Some sellers are starting to come in. If you notice here on this green candlestick here, as it tried to shoot up again, very, very low demand. And now we could go ahead and exit that position, right? Completely exit. We took some profits up here at our actual support resistance. And now we could take some profits or even completely close out our position as we could see that we're not having a lot of demand, right? And that's how you could understand and use price action and volume, right? Don't forget the price action determines how the candlestick is developed, right? But the volume determines who's in control and the direction that the stock is going to go in.